Welcome back, my friend. I'm truly grateful that you're here today. Take a moment, breathe in deeply, and let yourself be present. Right here, right now. Today we're going to walk together through one of the most powerful teachings of Marcus Aurelius, how to think clearly. In a world filled with noise, confusion, and distraction, clear thinking has become one of the rarest forms of wisdom. And if you master it, you'll begin to see your life transform in ways you never imagined. Before we begin, take a moment to ground yourself. Type in the comments right now, "I believe." Say it with intention. You're not just typing words. You're declaring that you are open to wisdom, open to clarity, and ready to strengthen your inner peace. And if this message finds you at the right time, if you've been feeling clouded, anxious, or uncertain, then I want to remind you that you are exactly where you need to be. There's no accident in the timing of wisdom, so make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more timeless lessons from the Wisdom Within channel. Here we explore the ancient paths of Stoicism, mindfulness, and inner mastery to help you live with peace, strength, and direction. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind and not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." These are simple words, but they hold the key to clear thinking. Every moment you choose to focus on what's within your control, you are sharpening your mind. Every time you stop reacting to chaos and instead respond with calm awareness, you are practicing true clarity. You see, most people today don't actually think, they react. They consume, scroll, repeat, and assume. They mistake information for wisdom and noise for understanding. But Stoicism reminds us, the mind must be disciplined if it's to see the truth. Clarity is not something you're born with. It's something you build through attention and awareness. Seneca said, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." That single line captures the modern condition. We are everywhere, mentally scattered, emotionally divided, but rarely are we fully here. Thinking clearly begins when you learn to bring your attention back to the present, to stop letting every distraction pull you away, to train your mind to stay where your feet are. Marcus himself lived surrounded by war, disease, betrayal, and political chaos. Yet when you read his words in meditations, they sound calm, collected, and full of reason. Why? Because he understood that clear thinking begins in stillness. He often reminded himself, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Take a moment to reflect on that. What is the quality of your thoughts today? Are they calm, rational, and focused on what matters? Or are they anxious, scattered, and shaped by fear? Because here's a truth. The world outside is never really the problem. It's the fog inside that blinds us. Thinking clearly means seeing things as they are. Not worse than they are, not more dramatic than they are, simply as they are. It means removing the emotional distortion that clouds judgment. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Every time you step back from a reaction and look at a situation with reason instead of impulse, you are practicing clarity. Now let's go deeper. Marcus taught that our judgments are the source of most suffering. He said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." Think about that. The event itself doesn't disturb you. Your interpretation of it does. For example, when someone criticizes you, your first reaction might be anger or defense. But if you pause and see it clearly, you realize this is simply another person's opinion shaped by their own mind and experience. You can choose not to internalize it. That choice, to pause to see clearly before reacting, is the foundation of peace. And this is something Marcus Aurelius practiced daily. His writings weren't meant to impress others. They were his private reflections, reminders to stay rational, calm, and grounded when his emotions tried to pull him elsewhere. Every morning he would reflect on how easily the mind gets carried away by anger, fear, or desire. And every night he'd write to bring himself back to clarity. He often told himself, "Don't let your imagination be crushed by life as a whole. Don't try to picture everything bad that could possibly happen. Stick with the situation at hand." This is how you think clearly, by narrowing your focus to what's real and immediate. When the mind wanders into endless what-ifs, clarity vanishes. So ask yourself right now, what are you thinking about that's not within your control? What story are you telling yourself that's making life heavier than it actually is? Because clarity doesn't come from adding more thoughts. It comes from subtracting unnecessary ones. Seneca wrote, We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. This is the truth that most people never confront. The mind loves to invent problems, to relive the past, to worry about futures that haven't arrived. But the Stoic path calls you to discipline the imagination, to keep it from turning against you. Thinking clearly is not about being emotionless. It's about not letting emotion make your decisions for you. Marcus never said, "Don't feel." He said, "Don't let feelings rule your reason." Even when he lost people he loved, he didn't deny the pain. He observed it. He let it move through him without corrupting his judgment. He wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." That's what clear thinking looks like in action, loving deeply yet seeing reality as it is, acting wisely yet accepting what you cannot change. Now here's something powerful. Clarity grows in silence. In a world full of noise, the Stoic seeks quiet, not just external quiet, but internal silence, the stillness of mind that allows you to hear truth. Marcus practiced this every day. He'd withdraw within himself and remind his mind, now is the time to think clearly. So I ask you, when was the last time you gave your mind space to breathe? When did you last sit without your phone, without distraction, and simply observe your thoughts? Because clarity begins the moment you stop trying to control every thought and start simply noticing them. As Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom doesn't mean doing whatever you feel. It means ruling your own mind. And to rule your mind, you must train it. Like a soldier trains for battle, like a craftsman sharpens his tool. You must practice clarity daily until it becomes your natural state. So from this moment forward, I invite you to begin practicing. When anger arises, step back. When confusion clouds your judgment, breathe deeply and ask, what's really true here? When fear speaks, don't obey, observe. You'll be amazed how much peace hides beneath the noise once you stop reacting to every passing thought. Marcus reminded himself often, if someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth, which never harmed anyone. That's what clear thinking truly is, and humility before truth. The willingness to be wrong, the desire to learn, not to be right. So my friend, as we continue this journey together, stay with me. You are not here by accident. Something in you is awakening, the same strength, the same clarity that guided the greatest minds of history. Like Marcus, like Seneca, like Epictetus, you have that same divine reason within you. Before we continue deeper into this message, I want you to take one small action that builds discipline. Like this video right now. It's a simple gesture, but it tells your mind, I am choosing growth. I am choosing wisdom. And as we move forward, type in the comments, I choose clarity. Let this be your declaration, your commitment to live with reason, not reaction. To think with calmness, not chaos. To walk the Stoic path with strength and grace. Because from this moment onward, your mind is no longer your enemy. It's your greatest ally once you learn how to master it. Good. Let's continue, my friend. You've already taken the first step. Awareness. Awareness that your mind is not always clear, that your thoughts can sometimes deceive you, and that the path to wisdom begins by observing rather than reacting. Now we go deeper into what Marcus Aurelius practiced daily, the art of cleansing the mind from unnecessary noise, judgments, and impulses. Marcus once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Think about that. Every thought you entertain leaves a mark on your inner being. If your thoughts are chaotic, angry, or resentful, your spirit begins to reflect that chaos. But when your thoughts are steady, truthful, and calm, your soul begins to shine with quiet power. The first practice Marcus used to think clearly was what the Stoics called the view from above. Imagine yourself rising above your current situation, like an eagle soaring over mountains. From that higher view, everything looks smaller. The argument, the disappointment, the stress, they all shrink. He would often remind himself, consider how small you are in the grand scheme of things. When you rise above the moment, you gain perspective. And perspective is the antidote to confusion. Every time your emotions start to take control, try this. Step back mentally. Ask yourself, will this matter a year from now? 10 years from now? Most of the time you'll realize that what's upsetting you now is not as big as it feels. This simple reflection brings the storm back into proportion. Seneca advised the same. He wrote, "He who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." That's the trap of the untrained mind. It magnifies small inconveniences into great disasters. But the trained mind shrinks problems back to their true size. Marcus practiced this every morning. Before facing the day, he reminded himself, "When you wake up, tell yourself, 'Today I shall meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, envious, and unsocial. But none of them can harm me.' Why? Because he knew their behavior could only disturb him if he allowed it to. The clear mind does not take offense. The clear mind observes and responds with reason. And this is your power too. You can walk into any situation with calm control when you remember. It's not what they say, but how you choose to see it that matters. Clarity is also born from simplicity. The Stoics believed in removing excess, not just material excess, but mental clutter. Marcus wrote, "If you seek tranquility, do less. Or more accurately, do what's essential." In our modern world, people confuse busyness with purpose. They think doing more makes them more successful, but in truth, it only scatters the mind. A disciplined mind focuses only on what matters. When you simplify your actions and your thoughts, clarity follows naturally. Try this. Each morning, ask yourself, what is truly essential today? Don't fill your mind with endless to-do lists or comparisons. Just focus on what is within your control, what truly moves your life toward virtue, strength, and peace. Marcus also practiced what he called rational reflection. He would question his thoughts before believing them. He'd write to himself, "Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary?" Imagine how much confusion could be avoided if we all asked that one question before speaking, reacting, or worrying. This is how you train clarity, not by adding more thoughts, but by removing false ones. Seneca echoed this wisdom when he said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." The mind that wastes time on useless thoughts cannot see clearly. But the mind that focuses only on what serves its purpose shines like still water. Another technique Marcus used was self-examination, a daily habit of reviewing his actions and emotions. Each night he would reflect, where did I let anger cloud my judgment today? Where did I allow pride to mislead me? What could I have done with more patience or reason? This practice doesn't create guilt, it builds awareness. It helps you see the patterns that trap your clarity. As Epictetus taught, no man is free who cannot command himself, and that command begins with knowing yourself. Self-discipline and self-knowledge are the twin roots of clear thinking. Now let's talk about emotion. Because clarity doesn't mean you become cold or detached. It means you learn to feel deeply without losing control. Marcus said, "You shouldn't give circumstances the power to rouse anger, for they don't care at all." The moment you realize the world is not personally attacking you, you free yourself. You see things as they are, neutral, impersonal, simply part of nature's flow. Seneca wrote, "A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not." That's mental clarity, the ability to accept reality without resentment, to live in peace with what is, while still working to improve what can be. Think clearly, and you'll stop fighting with life. Most suffering comes from wishing reality were different. But when you accept life as it is, without denial or dramatization, your vision becomes clean, sharp, and peaceful. Marcus understood that clear thinking requires humility. He often reminded himself, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. The wise person knows their perception can be flawed. They're open to correction. They're not attached to being right. They're attached to understanding. So if you want to think clearly, practice letting go of ego. When someone corrects you, thank them. When you're proven wrong, learn from it. When you fail, use it as a mirror, not a prison, because the goal is not to be perfect. It's to be aware. Awareness is the light that burns away confusion. Marcus also wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is perhaps one of his most famous teachings, and it's a cornerstone of clear thinking. When obstacles arise, don't resist them emotionally. Look at them rationally. Ask, how can this help me grow? When you stop labeling every challenge as bad, clarity appears. Because in truth, there's no such thing as a bad situation, only situations you haven't yet learned from. Even death, which Marcus faced constantly, was seen not as something to fear, but something to understand. He wrote, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." This awareness of mortality gave him focus. It reminded him that life is too short for confusion and resentment. The clear mind values time. It spends it wisely, with purpose and gratitude. Let's pause for a moment. I want you to think of one situation right now that's been clouding your thoughts. Maybe it's an argument, a decision, a fear. Take that situation and imagine rising above it like Marcus would. See it from a distance. Is it really worth your peace? You'll realize that most of what disturbs you only has power because you've given it too much attention. That's the lesson of the Stoics. Clarity is not about knowing everything. It's about knowing what to ignore. Marcus said, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." A calm mind is not empty. It's precise. It knows what matters and what doesn't. It wastes no time on trivialities. So, if you truly wish to think clearly, learn to be calm when others are chaotic. Learn to stay silent when others are loud. Learn to listen to your own mind before reacting to the world. You have that power. You always have. It's the same power that Marcus Aurelius used to rule an empire without letting it rule his soul. It's the same power that Seneca used to endure exile with grace. It's the same power that lies within you right now, waiting to be awakened. Before we move to the final part of this teaching, the daily Stoic rituals that strengthen mental clarity, take a moment to engage with this message. Like this video right now to spread the wisdom further and comment below, "I see clearly." Let that be your affirmation today. Because you, my friend, are learning to master your mind. And when the mind is mastered, life becomes light. You've walked through the heart of Stoic wisdom, and now we'll bring it all together. The daily practices that Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus used to train the mind for clarity, calm, and unshakable strength. These aren't theories. These are ancient mental workouts, real disciplined rituals that forged minds capable of peace even in chaos. So let's begin. The morning preparation, premeditatio malorum, premeditation of evils. Marcus began every morning by preparing his mind for what was to come. He wrote in Meditations, "When you wake up, tell yourself, 'Today I shall meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, envious, and unsocial. But none of them can harm me.' This is the first exercise. Expect life to test you. When you begin your day knowing challenges will appear, you meet them calmly. Instead of saying, 'Why is this happening to me?' you say, 'Ah, there you are, the obstacle I trained for.' This simple mindset turns every irritation into practice, every difficulty into an opportunity for growth. Do this each morning. Before checking your phone, before rushing to your tasks, close your eyes for 1 minute and remind yourself, whatever happens today, I will remain calm and rational. That's Stoic clarity in action. The practice of observation. Pause before judging. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The second practice is the pause. Most confusion and regret come from reacting too fast, from letting emotions speak before reason has time to breathe. So whenever something stirs anger, jealousy, or fear, pause and say, wait, what exactly happened? And what story am I telling myself about it? That small space between stimulus and response is where your power lives. In that space, you can choose clarity over chaos. Try this today. Before responding to a message, a comment, or a thought that irritates you, breathe in deeply once, and let reason step forward first. The evening reflection. Daily self-examination. Seneca ended each day with this sacred habit. He wrote, "When the light has been removed and my wife has fallen silent, I examine my entire day and go back over what I've done and said." He would ask himself, "Where did I act according to reason? Where did I allow anger or fear to lead me? What will I do better tomorrow?" This practice is not about guilt, it's about awareness. Because without reflection, confusion multiplies. But with reflection, wisdom deepens. Each night, take 5 quiet minutes to replay your day. Not as a critic, but as a student. See where your mind stayed clear and where it clouded. Over time, you'll notice the fog lifting. You'll start responding instead of reacting. The exercise of impermanence, memento mori, remember death. Marcus often wrote about death, not to create fear, but focus. He said, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." When you remember that your time is short, clarity comes naturally. Petty arguments vanish. Jealousy fades. You stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. So once a day, remind yourself, this moment is fleeting. This breath is a gift. This doesn't create sadness, and it creates urgency to live wisely and peacefully. The practice of simplicity. Do what's essential, Marcus warned. If you seek tranquility, do less, or more accurately, do what's essential. Our minds become foggy not because life is complex, but because we chase too many things. Focus is a form of discipline, and discipline breeds clarity. Each morning, write down only 3 essential actions for your day. If you complete them with full attention and calm, that's success. Busyness is not productivity. Doing less with purpose is mastery. The practice of perspective. View from above. Imagine you're standing far above the earth, looking down on your city, your problems, your ambitions. From that view, how small everything becomes. Marcus used this exercise to keep his mind from being trapped in petty emotions. He would imagine himself high above the world, seeing humanity as one. Billions of lives, each struggling, each passing. He realized, nothing is as big as it feels. This exercise frees you from ego. It clears the fog of self-importance and returns you to peace. The practice of gratitude. Focus on what remains. The Stoics never complained about what they lacked. They celebrated what they still had. Epictetus said, "Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not." When your mind feels heavy, shift it toward gratitude. Right now you have breath, sight, thought, and the power to improve yourself. That's already enough. Every morning or evening, name 3 things you're grateful for. It's a simple act, but it transforms your perception from scarcity to abundance, from confusion to clarity. The final practice. Return to the present moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present. The mind becomes unclear when it's lost in regrets of the past or fears of the future. But peace is always found now. This moment, this breath, is your home." Whenever you feel anxious or overwhelmed, anchor yourself with this thought. Right now, I have everything I need. That's where strength lives. That's where wisdom breathes. And so, my friend, these are the 8 Stoic practices for a clear mind, a way to see life as it is, not as your emotions imagine it. Prepare your mind in the morning. Pause before reacting. Reflect at night. Remember impermanence. Simplify what matters. Rise above for perspective. Practice gratitude daily, and always return to the present moment. If you do these things, and not once but daily, your mind will become unshakable. You'll think clearly under pressure, respond with reason, and live with inner peace. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, but his greatest kingdom was his own mind. You may not rule nations, but you can rule yourself. And that truly is the greatest power of all. Now before you go, take a deep breath, and type in the comments, "I choose clarity." Let that be your declaration, because once you master your thoughts, you master your world.